Part 8. C. Now we will do comparison of strength of bonds using VBT. So we will compare the bond strength using valence bond theory. C. Comparison of strength of bonds. Sigma bond, as we know, if smaller orbitals are there, means if orbital is smaller then the valence shell, if orbital is smaller then the valence shell is closer to the nucleus. So smaller orbitals, more closer is the orbital to the nucleus, means for a smaller value of n. If valence shell is close to the nucleus, means the value of n is small, principal quantum number is small, so higher will be the bond strength. So the value of n is small, means higher is the bond strength. For example, we have to compare the bond strength of HF, HCl, HBr and HI. See, in HF, as fluorine we know, basically hydrogen orbital involves in overlapping 1s, while in fluorine the orbital is 2p. So in hydrogen orbital is 1s and in chlorine hydrogen is orbital is 3p. Because chlorine is a third period element, fluorine second period, bromine fourth period and iodine fifth period element. As we know that if smaller is the value of n, means higher will be the bond strength. So value of n is increasing, 2, 3, 4, 5. As the value of n increases, means the orbital is far away from the nucleus, means bond is weak. So the order of bond strength is highest bond strength for n equal to 2. So first, then second, and then third, and then fourth. So order of bond strength is 1, 2, 3, 4. As we know, bond strength and bond length are inversely proportional to each other. Therefore, the order of bond length will be reverse. First 1, 2, 3 and then 4. See, next we are comparing the order of bond strength and bond length. See, the order of bond length in F2, Cl2, Br2 and I2. So these are 4 halogens, F2, Cl2, Br2 and I2. As we can see that fluorine is 2p, 2p and chlorine is 3p, 3p, bromine is 4p, 4p and iodine is 5p, 5p. See, as n is increasing, means the value of n increasing, means the valence shell is far away from the nucleus. So order of bond length is highest bond length in case of iodine due to large size of I atoms. Due to large size, it has highest bond length, then Br, 4, then Cl and then F2. So this is the correct order of bond length. And we expect, as bond strength and bond length inversely proportional to each other, so we expect that the bond strength order is reciprocal of this. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 as expected, but this is wrong. As expected, but this is wrong. Basically in F2, as the size of fluorine is small, in F2 due to small size of fluorine, in fluorine due to small size of fluorine, the electron pairs are very sparse. The electron pairs are very nearby. So basically, due to small size of fluorine atoms, as electron pairs are nearby, hence interelectronic repulsion is high. Interelectronic repulsion is high. So interelectronic repulsion is high between fluorine atoms. Therefore, fluorine bond becomes weak. So the correct order is the bond energy of F2. As per the direct bond strength and bond length order, F2 should become first, but fluorine comes after Cl2 and Br2. Why F2 comes after this? Due to high interelectronic repulsion. So the order is CBFI. You may learn this as CBFI. So the order of bond energy expected 1, 2, 3, 4 F2, Cl2, Br2, I2, but it is not so. So correct order of bond energies, first Cl2, then Br2. So fluorine comes after chlorine and bromine. Why? Due to high inter-electronic repulsion between fluorine atoms. So the correct order is CbFi. The correct order you may learn is CbFi. Chlorine, then bromine, then fluorine, and then iodine. You may also write the reason why it is so. Due to small size of fluorine atom, repulsion between lone pair of fluorine atom is very high, and to minimize it, fluorine should be little bit more separated. See next. Again, as we know, pi bond is formed by sideway overlapping. So pi bond is formed basically by sideway overlapping. See, if the value of principal quantum number is same, first case, if the value of principal quantum number is same and there is formation of pi bond between p orbitals, so between p orbitals pi bond called p pi, and between p orbital and d orbital pi bond called p pi d pi, while in d orbital and d orbital pi bond called d pi. So if the value of n, which is principal quantum number, if the value of principal quantum number is same, then the extent of overlapping and bond strength order is the strongest bond will be formed in case of n p pi. So basically, if n is same, then p pi bond is stronger than p pi d pi, and p pi d pi bond is stronger than d pi, since as the lobes are closer to each other. When lobes are close in p pi, as lobes are close in p pi as compared to p pi d pi. So lobes are close means extent of overlapping is more. So lobes are closer, therefore extent of overlapping is more. Therefore stronger will be the bond formation. Therefore bond strength is high in case of p pi, then p pi d pi, and then d pi. See, this is the case when the value of n is same. See, when the value of n is different, so smaller the value of n, we will look for smaller the value of n. If value of n is smaller, then stronger will be the pi bond in case n is different. So we discuss the question on this basis. One is given p pi, one is d pi, and one is p pi d pi, and p pi. As we know that p pi bond is stronger, so p pi bond is stronger. So p pi also, when n is different, then smaller value of n. See, for smaller value of n and p pi. See, in this case p pi with smallest value of n. So highest bond energy is in case of first. Now see, then we look for smaller value of n. So smaller value of n is present in case of p pi d pi. So in this case, smaller value of n, therefore bond energy is high. Now we can see p pi is stronger, but n is 3 here, so it will comes after. Now we will see p pi d pi. So smaller value of p pi d pi is in this case, therefore it comes 4, and in last 3 d pi, because d pi is weakest bond. So according to this basis, we have arranged in the increasing order of bond energy. Now we discuss some applications of VBT. See the applications of VBT. Applications of VBT, we have compared the bond length and bond strength as per VBT. So bond energy and bond length can be compared using VBT. See, orbital diagram we have discussed fluorine, O2, N2, HF, HCl, etc. This is also application of VBT. Existence or non-existence of molecule is also on the basis of valence bond theory. See, nitrogen N2. So nitrogen exists in the form of N2, but phosphorus exists in the form of P4. How? See, this is also an application of VBT. As we have seen, in nitrogen, triple bond is present between nitrogen. So basically 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bond, and the overlapping as nitrogen second period element, so pi bond is formed between 2p pi, therefore existence is possible. As the size is smaller, due to smaller size, Due to smaller size of p orbital, there is effective overlapping. Hence, formation pi bond is possible. See, while in case of phosphorus, p triple bond p does not exist. Why? Because phosphorus is third period element. So this phosphorus also third period element. And 3p pi, as the size of orbitals become large. Due to large size of orbital, overlapping is ineffective. So overlapping is ineffective in this case. So it is unstable. Therefore, phosphorus does not exist in the form of p triple bond p. So phosphorus exists in the form of p4 molecule. So this is the explanation why p4 exists in p4 molecule. See, similarly in the case, you may learn this. Oxygen exists as O2, as we have seen. This is second period element, oxygen. This is also second period element. And formation of pi bond between 2p and 2p is possible. So 1 sigma and 1. While sulfur exists in the form of acid molecule in crown shape. See, in acid also, because sulfur triple bond is not possible. Why? Double bond is not possible. Why? Because we know sulfur is a third period element. Same explanation. Sulfur is a third period element, and 3p pi bond is unstable. Therefore, sulfur exists in the form of acid molecule crown shape. See, the next explanation is, as we know that this is also question, PCl5 exists and also application of VBT. PCl5 exists, but NCl5 does not exist. Why? As we know, phosphorus is a third period element. So phosphorus is a third period element. So it can expand its octet due to vacant d orbital. So phosphorus has vacant d orbital, due to which phosphorus can expand its covalency or octet. While nitrogen is second period element. So nitrogen is a second period element and 2d orbital is not possible. So nitrogen is second period element, and in second period 2d orbital is not possible. Therefore nitrogen cannot expand its octet. So 2d is not possible, nitrogen cannot expand its octet. Hence NCl5 does not exist. So NCl5 does not exist, PCl5 exists due to presence of vacant d orbital. So nitrogen cannot expand its covalency beyond 4 due to absence of vacant d orbital. See, similar in the case why SF6 exists. Why SF6 exists, but OF6 does not exist. As again, sulfur is basically third period element. Sulfur is third period element, while oxygen is second period element. As sulfur is third period element, so it has vacant d orbital. Third period orbitals, 3d orbital is possible. So 3d vacant orbital is present in sulfur. So sulfur is a third period element, and d orbital, it has d orbital, so it can expand its octet. But here oxygen is a second period element, it cannot expand its octet. Therefore SF6, sulfur can form 6 bonds, but oxygen cannot form 6 bonds. So SF6 exists, but OF6 does not exist. See, I3 minus, Cl3 minus and Br3 minus exists, but F3 minus does not exist. See, why F3 minus does not exist? As while we have discussing about the Lewis dot theory, then there is one point about the choosing of central metal atom. And the rule discussed according to Lewis, hydrogen and fluorine cannot be central atom. Therefore F3 minus does not exist, while I3 minus, Cl3 minus and Br3 minus exist. So fluorine cannot be central atom. Hence F3 minus does not exist, while I3 minus, Cl3 minus and Br3 minus will exist. Now we will discuss some limitations of VBT, valence bond theory. Our next topic is limitations of valence bond theory. See, what are the limitations of valence bond theory? The first limitation of valence bond theory is It could not explain the formation of compounds containing more than 2 atoms. So basically, as we have seen, this theory of valence bond theory could not explain the formation of compounds containing more than 2 atoms. As we have seen the examples, it discuss F2, HF, Cl2, Br2, O2, N2. So only 2 atoms are present. So the structure of these molecules are discussed by VBT, but it could not explain the formation of compounds containing more than 2 atoms. Also, this theory could not able to explain the geometry of the molecule. So geometry is also not explained by this theory. See, one of the major drawback if it is containing more than 2 atoms, like we are taking CH4 molecule. As we know experimentally in CH4, all carbon hydrogen bond lengths are equal. So basically in CH4 all carbon hydrogen bond lengths are equal, and there are six hydrogen carbon bond. There are 6 carbon bonds which are at an angle of 109 degree 28 minutes according to valence. So experimentally in CH4 molecule, all CH bond lengths are equal, and there are 6 carbon hydrogen bonds at an angle of 109.28 degrees. So this is experimentally, but according to VBT, see, experimentally geometry is also tetrahedral. Experimentally geometry of CH4 is also tetrahedral. So see the points. Experimentally CH4, as we know, experimentally the shape of CH4 is tetrahedral, and all bond length and bond strength are identical, and all bond angle are at an angle of 109 degree and 28 minutes in CH4. But according to VBT, according to valence bond theory, we see there carbon, the atomic number of carbon is 6. So configuration will be 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. Now first draw the ground state. So in ground state the configuration will be like this: 2s2, 2s2 and 2p2. This is the configuration. 2s2 and 2p2, 2 unpaired electrons are there. Now this is the ground state. Now we will write the excited state. In excited state we know the 2s electron will excite to 2p orbital. So in excited state, first excited state, it will be like this: 1 unpaired electron in 2s and 3 unpaired electrons in 2p. So this is the first excited state, and this is the ground state and first excited state for which atom? For carbon atom. This is the ground state and first excited state for carbon atom. Now see, as we can see, this is the 2s orbital and this is the 2p orbital. So this is the carbon 2s orbital and carbon 2p orbitals, and all have unpaired electrons. As we can see that there are 4 hydrogen atoms in CH4. There are 4 hydrogen atoms in CH4. There are 4 hydrogen atoms. So see, as in CH4 there are 4 hydrogen atoms, and configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. So configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. So all 4 hydrogen atoms have configuration 1s1. See, so one carbon of 2s. So one carbon of 2s will overlap with 2s of hydrogen. So this is the carbon 2s orbital, this is the carbon 2s orbital, and this is the hydrogen, as there are 4 hydrogen atoms. So 2s orbital of carbon will overlap with hydrogen 1s orbital. So hydrogen 1s orbital. See, while one of the carbon 2px orbital, one of the carbon 2px orbital will overlap with another 1s orbital of hydrogen. See, so two orbitals we have used. One bond is formed between carbon 2s and hydrogen 1s. One bond is formed between carbon 2px and hydrogen 1s. Now we have two hydrogens more and two orbitals of carbon more containing unpaired electron. According to VBT, there is formation of bond between the orbitals containing unpaired electron. See again, we have also another carbon atom containing 2py unpaired electron and 1s of hydrogen atom. See how many sigma bonds we have found? 1, 2 and 3. 3 bonds we have found. We have another carbon, that is 2pz. We have another carbon atom, that is 2pz, and hydrogen atom having 1s. Now all the hydrogens use its unpaired electron in the bond formation with 2s, 2px, 2py and 2z. See, so basically there are 4 bonds are formed. There are 4 formation of bonds. As we know, there is overlapping of carbon, 3 carbon atoms. So there is overlapping of 3 carbon atoms between P and S, between P and S, between P and S. And we know the 3p orbitals are perpendicular to each other. 3 orbitals are perpendicular to each other at an angle of 90 degree. So if we are taking it px, this is py and this is pz. So 3 orbitals make bond. 3 orbitals make bond with hydrogen, and these are at an angle of 90 degree. So 3 bonds are at an angle of 90 degree. So according to valence bond theory, see, as we can see that in this case 2s orbital of carbon and 1s orbital of hydrogen, 1 sigma bond. Then 3p orbitals of carbon with 1s orbital of hydrogen. So basically 3p orbitals we have, px, py, pz. So 3p orbitals are perpendicular to each other and at an angle of 90 degrees. So this is carbon, this is also carbon, and this is also carbon. So there is carbon hydrogen bond, there is carbon hydrogen, there is carbon hydrogen bond, and these bonds are at an angle of 90 degree because these are mutually perpendicular to each other. But according to experimental theory, what we have studied, the bond angles are at an angle of 109 degree 28 minutes. But according to VBT, we are finding that the bond angle between them is 90 degree. As also we have studied, the bond lengths are also same. But in this case, we are seeing there are 3 bonds which are formed between p and s orbital, while 1 bond is formed between ss orbital. So overlapping is different. It means the bond length of this bond, the bond length of this bond is not equal to the bond lengths of these bonds. So the structure of CH4 was totally failed. So the structure of CH4 was totally failed according to valence bond theory. As experimentally what we have studied, as experimentally in CH4 the shape is tetrahedral and all bond lengths and bond angle are angle of 109, all bond lengths are identical. But according to VBT, what we have discussed, according to VBT, 1 carbon hydrogen bond, according to VBT, 1 carbon hydrogen bond is different than 3 carbon hydrogen bonds, and also these bond angles are at an angle of 90 degree, while there is no bond angle in CH4 at angle of 90 degree. So basically 3 should be identical, 1 should be identical. So 3 carbon hydrogen identical and 1 different according to VBT. And according to VBT, 3 p orbitals perpendicular to each other at angle of 90, which is also false. So basically these are the drawbacks of valence bond theory. So the geometry of molecules was not explained by VBT, and also it could not explain the molecules which contain more than 2 atoms. So this theory explained the molecules containing only 2 atoms.